What's going on, guys? It's your boy Carson here, back with a brand new video. And in today's exciting video, we are talking about my pressure washer wall. Now, I'm super excited to reveal this is the brand new era of the pressure washer wall. Honestly, I'm super excited for it. This has been a long time coming. Now, earlier last year, we did a full garage tour, and if you want to see a full garage tour, make sure to check up in the top right-hand corner. You can check out the full entire garage with the old pressure washer setup. You can see that it was definitely lacking a few things. One of them was definitely a full water treatment system. Now, I did have a DI system on there, but unfortunately it was not enough for what I needed. It definitely did a decent job at what it was meant for, but unfortunately when changing pressure washers, it really couldn't keep up with the GPM. So what better time to get a new spotless system, go ahead and redo the entire wall, and talk about the pressure washer wall itself. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Alrighty, and before we get too far into the video, I do want to say a huge shout out to CR Spotless. They did send me out this kit here for free, and I want to say I'm super grateful. So thank you guys so much. CR Spotless is the best in the game. Everything that they make is quality. They're veteran owned. What more could you ask for? Quite honestly, I'm extremely impressed by the build quality, and I'm extremely happy with this unit itself. So a huge shout out to CR Spotless. If you guys want to pick one up, I'll throw down some links down below, but their links will be in the videos from now on. So starting down from the bottom here, nothing's really changed here with the bucket system. We still have the same buckets as we did before. These are just the standard 5-gallon buckets with the casters from Walmart. Now, honestly, I've had no issues with these smaller casters here. They do a great job, but eventually I do want to change out the little rollers on the bottom. I do have gamma seals on every single one of them here. I'm doing a bunch of projects, and sometimes you do get some dust, so I do like to throw those on here. I don't want any leaves getting in my buckets or anything like that. Over here, we do have a few miscellaneous things. Now, this is not fully done. I'm still trying to figure out where on this new setup I want to mount my foam cannons and a few miscellaneous things, so don't judge me too hard. But I do have my bucket heater here and the cable guards down here. Also a spare rinseless sponge and then a clay scrubber. Over here we have everything to do my wheels. Got my foam cannon for brake buster, a bunch of wheel brushes and everything like that. Next, we've got a knee pad here for, again, working on wheels. Jumping up over here is one thing that honestly I'm super happy that I installed. This is just a smaller rack that I did pick up from Home Depot, and this is kind of where I have my drying towels. I want to make sure that the towels are dry so they're not all moldy sitting in the hamper. So I let them dry first and throw them in the hamper. Up top here, we've got a spot where I have my pressure washer gun. Now, if I do need this space, I can fold this up here, but this is just kind of where I have it for right now. Eventually, I probably will swap that out to something a little bit different, but that's just what I've got right here for now. And then jumping over here, I've got a spot for the filter wrench and a spot for my mitt on a stick. Now, I am probably going to put this away since I probably will not have to change filters for quite a while. My TDS here at home is about 77 to 80 coming out of the tap here. My filters are gonna last quite a while. Alrighty, and going back here, we've got for the backsplash, these are peel and stick subway tiles that me and my girlfriend went ahead and applied on a backboard. And I'll kind of show you guys the process here. So we went ahead and kind of built a wall with studs. Unfortunately, when I originally built this, I wasn't super confident. I didn't really want to open up the wall or anything like that to add studs in there for all of this stuff. Now, since this is our first home that we purchased, this is not going to be our forever house. So we didn't really want to do a bunch of permanent modifications to this house, and this seemed to be like one of the best modifications that we could do. It was a great compromise for the both of us. It did make me a little bit nervous since the electrical box is right here, kind of going and pulling into the wall, but This was kind of the compromise. So we went ahead and put all of those studs in the wall there, and it ended up working great. We ended up using a little bit of particle board here and building kind of a fake wall, if you will, putting these subway tiles on there out of a staggered setup, and it is all set there. Now these are ones that we did pick up on Amazon, and they did a phenomenal job. These tiles are great. They're sticking pretty well. Now these tiles are sticking really, really good. There's a spot or two that was my fault when installing them that is coming up, so I'm not gonna blame the tile for that. Other than that, we went ahead and put some trim along the edge here just to kind of clean it up and make it look a lot better. I think eventually I am going to switch this out to a little bit thicker trim, get a little bit more pronounced, maybe go to something like a metal trim. This was more of like a peel and stick option. Honestly, it's doing pretty well for right now, so we'll take it. So there's the backsplash of it. Now, since this was a little bit different than the other setup, it's not as protruded. There's definitely spots that need to be touched up. Like up here needs to be touched up with some paint. Same thing with up there, needs to be some paint touch-ups, and around there, which I will go ahead and get to once it gets a little bit warmer. But jumping into the pressure washer setup itself, my main water line is actually tucked behind the false wall. Now it goes all the way over to the right-hand side here, down over and back over into here. Now you can see here, I did go ahead and put a little beauty cap down here, and it kicks out right there. Now all of the tubing I do have here, this is PEX B tubing. I do want to eventually replace this with Prevost piping or copper. I'm not too sure what I want to do yet, but unfortunately Prevost is really expensive. So I may go with something like that, or potentially like Rapid Air. I'm not too sure, but I do want to eventually change out the piping. But jumping back down here again, here is kind of the setup that I did. I went ahead and copied the OG style and kind of did exactly what he did, as I know it works. Now for our CR spotless system, I went ahead and went with the DIW20B. Now this does have a pass-through here. Now specifically, I wanted this system because, again, what I talked about earlier is we don't know if we're gonna be in this house forever. What I mean by that is the setup could definitely change. And I'm a very indecisive person, so my setup can always change. So I wanted the ability to wall mount this if I could, or I could put it on a cart, whatever I wanted to. Now with this DIW20, it does have an integrated pass-through. Now typically when you get this system here, it does have a little leader line that goes down through the middle here. But if you want to wall mount it and use it like this, like as an OG setup, if you will, or a wall mounted setup, you can run it like this. And it's super simple to do. All you have to do is take off that leader line there, make sure that this is set to the middle position, and run it like a normal system. It's super simple. Now, I would highly recommend keeping all of the parts just in case you want to go back to that. This side does come capped from the factory, so you just have to take that off. But other than that, it is a normal machine. They just did go ahead and drill into here, but there's of course no leaks. So no harm, no foul. Following that up here, you can see this is my main water valve. So when turning on water, all I have to do is just turn it on here. Now, of course, this does have multiple valves in multiple areas. I have a valve up here that turns it on to the entire system here. Following that up here, you've got a T that jumps into the CR spotless, or that goes to another valve that can go to the pressure washer or to the bucket filler. Now, if you want spotless water, all you have to do is flip this on here. You flip it on here, flip it on this side here, and then you want to make sure that this is closed. And so basically all the water goes up to here. It's closed right here, so it is forced to go through the CR spotless and then down either to your buckets, if you're doing like a rinseless wash, or if you want DI water through your bucket filler here, you can do it that way. Or of course, when you're utilizing your pressure washer, that's going to be the final rinse. You're gonna wanna make sure that your bucket filler is closed there, and then it has no choice other than to go up through here, and again, go up to your pressure washer and then out your hose. So that is kind of how the DI system works. You don't really want to run this all the time. You totally can if you really, really want to. Personally, I don't really think it's necessary. You're gonna only want to use it for your final rinse. Always want to make sure that you're getting an independent TDS meter just to check everything, and that's exactly what I did here. So you have multiple sources telling you what your TDS could be. Alrighty, so here is my bucket filler here. I have a small nozzle here. Now this is something I definitely want to improve on. This does have a little bit of sway here, which is totally fine, but I gotta figure out something with this. This hose is a little bit dinky in my opinion, so I wanna change out something that's a little bit more beefy. This does have a bunch of quick connects on this as well, and evidently some water in it. So if I do want to switch out the hose end there to something a little bit different, I totally can. But this does have the dram rain nozzle in there to fill up the buckets. One thing I did struggle with the last bucket filler is it was too low, and so I had to kind of move it in and out. This one is perfect height, right above the bucket here. And so when I am moving it, I just have to move it just a hair rather than kind of like squeeze it out. Other than that, going up and around to the pressure washer, we still have the same pressure washer as the last time, the Active 2.0. We did have kind of a bigger shelf. This is just a single stainless steel shelf. This is nothing crazy. I did pick this one up off Amazon. It's the same one I had, but I broke it down into the single piece rather than the dual piece that it was on. In my opinion, it gives it just a little bit of a cleaner look. We'll just kind of see how long it lasts. But other than that, of course, it's just a shelf, so there's really nothing too crazy about it. The Active 2.0 is still doing okay. The Active 2.0 did have some issues at one point for me. Those issues were all resolved once I did go ahead and add a dedicated 20 amp circuit. Now that does have a Lutron cover plate on there, but it is a dedicated 20 amp circuit there that was wired in by an electrician. But the Active 2.0 seems super happy with that 20 amp circuit, so everything seems to be a lot better. As for the water inlet, you can see there's kind of a little bit of magic that has been done here. This is a stainless steel garden hose quick connect that is adapting here. That's another adapter to a stainless braided hose. So if I do ever need to take this Active 2.0 off or anything like that, all I have to do is quickly disconnect it here. Jumping over here in the corner, you can see I do have a little note that says tighten. That right angle, I have dual right angles right there. One of them is leaking just a little bit, so I do need to tighten that up, make sure that's doing good. And then I have yet again another quick connect, so if I do need to take that off there, all I have to do is just quickly disconnect that right there. Following that, we've got our jumper hose for our pressure washer reel. Again, another quick connect. Everything is gonna be quick connect on here. That follows all the way down to the pressure washer hose reel. Now for my pressure washer nozzles, I've got two of the nozzles here. The rinse nozzle, of course, I love this for cleaning out buckets. And then a newer one for me is going to be the turbo nozzle. This is a 4.0 turbo nozzle. Since I do have the 20 amp circuit, this works really, really good, especially for those carpeted floor liners. And then of course, some extra, just regular plastic nozzle tips. Alrighty, and jumping over here to the hose reel itself. This is a hose reel that I did pick up off Amazon. Honestly, it's been okay. I do eventually want to upgrade this to something a lot better. There's a couple gripes I do have with it, and so let's get into it. The first one is over here. This is exactly how you open and kind of set where your hose length will be. So when opening it, you have to pull this here and then kind of set it over here. And when you push this down, it does rub no matter what you do. And so you kind of have to like finesse it to get it in the right way. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you can see it's scraping off the paint. I've had this for like less than a year. And so sometimes, again, sometimes it will like go straight in, sometimes it won't. And so that's one of my biggest gripes, especially with the locking side. Over here, This is very prone to leaking. I've put Teflon tape on here. I've replaced the O-ring in here, and this will still leak. So it's not super fun. So I probably wouldn't recommend this hose reel, but it's very cheap. I would definitely say like a 7 out of 10. Once you get all the little quirks figured out, it's all good. Jumping over to the hose itself. This hose I actually picked up off TikTok shop. I did a video for the company. They have it on Amazon as well, and it's honestly a great hose. It's kind of like that OG style here. I did change a few things when I did get it in full transparency. I did go ahead and change the quick connects to some Veloci quick connects right here and right here. I went ahead and added this black grip sheathing here. Fun fact, this is just electrical sheathing that you can get from Home Depot, and it's a super inexpensive way to mod your pressure washer hose. I think these are like $3 a piece, and they're heat shrink. And then of course we've got the Obsessed Garage plug there for the end of the pressure washer hose. But of course, again, quick connects on almost everything. But of course guys, that is really it as far as the pressure washer wall goes. Alrighty guys, and that is pretty much it for me here today. This is, of course, my pressure washer wall, and I just wanted to say, again, a huge thank you to the team over at CR Spotless. And of course, I'm super excited to utilize this machine, especially in the summertime, and really put it to the test. If you guys are interested in getting a CR Spotless machine, getting some resin, getting a subscription for some new resin, make sure to check them out with the links down below. But if you're interested in anything that we talked about today, check them out with the links down below. But if you did enjoy the video, make sure to press the like button, subscribe down below if you're brand new, and I will see you guys in the next video. And I'm out. Peace.